Hey guys, what's going on? So, one of the guys that I was working with today and might continue to work with, uh, he was asking me some questions about foster care earlier and it got me thinking. I haven't really told y'all a whole lot about me and foster care and all that. So, this might be a little backstory, a little bit of information into the state foster care system. So, growing up in foster care, I've been in it since 2001, and I was in there until I turned 18 in 2007. So it was 6 years, but really did seem like much longer. At that point, I'd been away from my family for 10 years already, because we got taken in 97. And the first while was went through two different children's homes. I told you all about that a little bit. But the foster care system, there's foster homes that kids go to, and it seems like the foster parents are mainly doing it for the money. Yes, they do get paid for having foster kids. I think one of them told me, for me, they were getting about $2,500 a month for me. And that all depends. See, the state, they've got a level system. Your level depends on your behavior, how prone you are to acting out, getting in trouble, this or that. Level 1 was pretty much your most well-behaved kids. Level 5 were, troubled kids. And I think at the time, I think I was a level 4 when a certain foster parent told me that they were getting $2,500 a month from me. Now, I don't know about anybody else in the world, but ain't no kid going through $2,500 a month in electric, water, sewage, food, clothing. So a lot of these foster parents are profiting heavily on foster kids, which is a lot of times why most people do it. Very, very seldom did I have a foster family that legitimately just enjoyed having me. The one, I wouldn't say my last one, but the first one that I was at, which is the ones that I'm still close to. Yeah, I mean, they got paid for me and everything, but, they seemed more happy to be helping than any of the other ones. The second one that I was at, they just kind of processed foster kids here and there. It seemed like they were doing it for the money. They didn't really care a whole lot about what happened. I mean, I got into a little bit of trouble with that one. Not much, but I mean, your typical kid trouble. I got caught dipping a few times, and that got me in trouble. I got mad at my foster mom, and I wrote a nasty note, and I got caught on that. I got grounded a couple times. Nothing different, nothing horrible. And I got to my third foster home. They really tried to cram in the foster kids. There was me, there was another boy that I was in there with, and then they had two girls. And they were constantly packing their house, trying to get as many foster kids as they could. So I mean, at minimum, if they're getting $1,000 a month for each one, and they had 4 of us at one point, that's $4,000 a month. And it's actually kind of hard to make that, working, let alone sitting around the house doing nothing. I mean, yeah, you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to keep up with 4 kids, and I understand it's a lot of work, but I don't see, babysitters, they don't make $4,000 a month. I mean, I guess if you push it, I guess you could, but these people don't have to do anything, and that's minimum 4,000. If they had 4 troubled kids, that's $10,000 a month or more. I was only a level 4 and it was 2,500. So if they were a level 5, so yeah, it's a little aggravating to think about for me. And then, my third foster family, they crammed a bunch of kids in there, but they were good people. Don't get me wrong, they were nice. They did a lot for me. I was actually grounded because I got grounded for 3 months over summer break. One of the neighbor girls down the street, I liked her, she liked me, this and that, we were dating, and she took it upon herself, and I had absolutely nothing to do with it, but she took it upon herself to show up at my house at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and she was knocking on my window, and I cracked my window, and we sat and talked for a little bit. I told her she shouldn't be there, and I was probably going to get in trouble if I got busted. My foster dad was a retired cop, and he was working at the, I think it's the Toyota plant in Georgetown, Kentucky. And my foster mom, she was a retired corrections officer at a men's prison. So they were pretty strict. Fair, but strict. But anyway, so my foster mom ended up catching her. She, I guess, heard something or something. I don't know how she managed to do it without me finding out. But she drove around the corner to the side of the house, which is where my room was, and seen Shauna at my window. And, of course, she was trying to lead it on, trying to, get in my room and, but I didn't want to get busted. I mean, it was stupid of me to do that, but if I'd have brought her in my room, chances are she probably wouldn't have been seen. They probably would have knocked on my bedroom door, though. But I had a foster brother in there with me, too, so, I didn't want him snitching on me either. But I got grounded for 3 months because of that. And during that 3 months, it was my birthday. And they went ahead and packed all of us up in the car, and we went to Six Flags over Georgia for my birthday. And then we stopped in at the Air Force Base, I guess, over in Alabama, maybe. Might have been Mobile, Alabama. I don't remember. But my foster brother, their actual son, he was in the Air Force. And we stopped over to see him, and then went to Six Flags over Georgia. We stayed in hotels. I think we went to Six Flags 2 days in a row, and then we came back. So it was pretty fun. It was nice. They did that for me on my birthday while I was grounded, which was pretty cool of them to do. I don't remember what happened, but I ended up losing that foster home, and I got put in another one, which was a single mom. She had 2 kids of her own. One was grown and out of the house. The other one was like a year or 2 younger than me. But she was a real estate agent, and she worked on flipping houses and stuff like that. And I got put in there. Everything, all my responsibilities was myself. I had to make my own dinners. She was never, ever ever home, which I don't know how she qualified to get foster kids when she was never home. She would come home at night, and that was about it. But me and him, we did our typical teenage boy stuff. Snuck in her bathroom, got some of her hairspray, and acted like pyromaniacs. Went around setting half the neighborhood on fire. Not houses, but there's a little empty plot of land back behind their house, and we'd go out there and take random stuff out there and catch it on fire, and rode our bikes around town. I went out to my friend's house. I think I was in 7th or 8th grade. I think 8th grade at this point. And, I was just kind of sort of a bad kid. I wasn't legally getting in trouble, and I wasn't causing crap around the house. But I did go to a friend's house. We did drink. I ended up having sex with my friend's drunk mom. That was horrible thing to do, and I'm not going to mention any names because it was years ago, but still, good for me, bad for her. She could have gotten in a lot of trouble, but she was drunk. She kept walking around the house naked, trying to mess with the pizza guy when he delivered pizza, and of course he was on the clock and couldn't. So she offered, and I took her up on it. Sorry. That foster home didn't last very long. I had way too much freedom that a kid should have. And I think I only lasted there maybe 3-4 months. And how I left there, I ended up getting put into a sort of like a juvie home. I got in a bit of trouble. And next thing you know, my foster parents, from the ones I still talk to, they came back and said that they had an opening in their home. They wanted me back. And so they ended up getting me out of there and taking me back here. And I did pretty good from there. That's when, I stayed for a while, started high school, went through, freshman, maybe sophomore year, left halfway through like sophomore year, and ended up going to the military school. So that was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it down here, and these people, they're great to me and always have been. I wish I'd have realized it the first time around. Maybe they would have adopted me one day. Who knows? I'm going to make this a part 1 and a part 2 video. So if you guys want to stick around for the second part, I'll put it in there too. There's more on this topic. This is not a short subject. Especially when I get to expressing my feelings about the state, their regulations, and how unfair everything is, and so I'm pretty sure it's kind of mandatory for foster kids to be seeing therapists and stuff like that, and they almost make it a requirement, almost as if the doctors and therapists and psychiatrists and everybody, I think they make extra money for, putting us on prescriptions, because I was on prescriptions quite a bit, and I'll get to that here in a second. Looks like I'm running out of time, so continue on to part 2, guys.